You know, along with weightlifting and video games and music and stuff, I'm also very into military history, and I want to start hitting y'all with some bite-sized interesting stuff. And since it also happens to be close to Halloween, I got a good one to start with. It's pretty crazy. I'm going to tell you how Basil II of the Byzantine Empire got the nickname the Bulgar Slayer. So there was a battle in like right before 1000 AD, I think like 990 AD. There was a battle between the Byzantines and the Bulgarians called the Battle of Cleidion. And Basil II was mopping up pretty well. They were destroying the Bulgarians pretty bad, but the Bulgarians were hitting them with like guerrilla attacks that were mildly successful. And one of those guerrilla attacks killed Theophylact Botaniades. I believe I'm saying that right, making sure there's not ants on me. Theophylact Botaniades was killed. This is one of the biggest, most powerful, and most trusted generals that Basil had. And in a ambush attack, he was killed. Military history says maybe he might have been killed with arrows. He might have been killed with slings like rocks. But it also says that there's a possibility that the Tsar at the time, Samuel, his son, personally killed Theophylact with a spear. And then when this made it back to Basil II, he went completely insane. He had, so the accounts vary, but he had between 8,000 and 15,000 Bulgarian prisoners. He took them to a field. He organized them into 100-man groups. He had one man from each 100-man group step forward, and then every person in the 99 group of each 100 were blinded in both eyes. The last person that was pulled aside, the 100th man, was blinded in one eye. And the reason he did this is that so he could use the one-eyed men to lead the rest of the blinded men back to Bulgaria. And now imagine, I think the journey was about 60 days to get back to Bulgaria from where they were in the Byzantine Empire. Imagine seeing a wall of people coming closer and closer. You know, a lot of them probably passed away on the journey, but imagine between like 4,000 and 10,000 men arriving in Bulgaria with no eyes. When the Tsar saw this, Samuel of Bulgaria, he literally died of a heart attack. And then the leftover men, almost all of Bulgaria's fighting force was destroyed. So then pretty much the rest of the country was left to taking care of around 10,000 men that couldn't work and couldn't take care of themselves. Man, I'll tell you what, I'm glad I can lift weights and go to the grocery store and hang out on the internet and not have to deal with this kind of crap, huh? Stay tuned, I'll have more of these kind of things, maybe less horrifying next time.